Hey, my name is Tim Sae Koo, a recovering Type A and aspiring Type B heart-led leader. After selling my first tech startup in Silicon Valley due to personal misalignment in 2018, I am now backpacking around the world for a year with the intentions of healing myself, recharging my battery, and seeking what problem pains my heart to see exist. I'm here to take you on my journey, to stay in touch with you all, and share my learnings to open up new gateways of inspiration and awareness.
Hello, and welcome to week 15 and 16 of my world backpacking travels around the world this year, and greetings from the beautiful land of Portugal. So it's been some time since I've been able to catch up on everything, especially these video updates, because I've been focusing my time on these back-to-back activities and retreats that I'm really excited to share with you. It's been a crazy journey. So after my Vipassana meditation in Cali, I decided to fly to Medellin, also in Colombia, to meet up with my good friend Roy, who's essentially my brother from another mother, literally, which was really good to see him because it brought a lot of familiarity back into my life. I kind of spent the next few days really laying low, practicing my Vipassana, practicing my drum that I got in Peru, just to kind of reintegrate myself back into the default world after disconnecting. There was really one highlight that Roy and I got to do in Medellin, which was visiting this place called Guatapé, which is known for this big rock obelisk coming out of the ground. After that, the rest of the time I really spent preparing for what was to come next, which was essentially the next One Heart Journeys retreat. Now, if you remember seeing the first video, I went on my first One Heart Journeys back in Costa Rica in January with a bunch of heart-led leaders really intending to wake up to their highest potential and bring mindfulness and love and compassion and kindness to the root and heart of their businesses. In the few months after that journey, as I was traveling, I was really supporting and facilitating that group in their integration, as I've had plenty of experiences with integrating my journeys from these ayahuasca ceremonies into my day-to-day life. And as I've been stepping up and really just with the intention of being in service to these amazing change makers of the world, I was invited back as a facilitator to the next One Heart Journeys. Now this was so fascinating for me and will probably be one of the key highlights this year for me. I am a big proponent and believer of the powerful transformation ayahuasca and other plant medicines can gift people on this earth. It was such a privilege and honor to be able to facilitate experiences in the next One Heart Journey as a group leader and as an integration facilitator. So basically what I got to do this time for One Heart was be a group leader for about 9 other participants. Most of them were going to be their first time drinking this plant medicine, and really create an experience from end to end. Throughout this experience, there were 2 stories that I really wanted to share, and I'll keep everyone's names anonymous. But there was one man who, when I first saw him in the first video chat that we did to kind of introduce ourselves to our group, I can see him really holding back and just not really wanting to kind of flow and really dive deep into participating. Basically, I saw a lot of ego. Not to judge, but just my observation. And as we went through the journey, there were many times where he started to crack open and open up, but was still holding on. And I remember him sharing his first ceremony experience being full of paranoia and fear, to the point where he thought we were a group of people that were ready to commit suicide and as a cult. Now, as crazy as that may sound, he fully and truly believed that, at which time when we were able to discuss one-on-one as I was his group leader, there was a lot of holding on to control and lack of trust and surrender into the beautiful flow of life. But this story was just so wonderful and beautiful to witness, because as he started to go through the second and finally the third ceremony, he started to really understand what trusting and surrendering meant, and really trusting me and trusting the group and the shaman that was there to really open him up. And when I saw him come out to the other side, really the best way I can describe it is a caterpillar going through a metamorphosis experience and coming out as a beautiful flapping butterfly full of smiles and light. It just brought so much beautiful joy into my being. I had set the intention going into this One Heart journey to really learn what service meant and to really connect deeper with the One Heart mission and vision, because I'm thinking about investing a good chunk of my money that I exited with into the land and center that they're building in Nasara, as you can look back into my second video this year. As I asked the plant and this experience to show me what true service means and connect deeper with the One Heart vision and mission, this guy's transformational experience was it. And it just brought so much peace and joy and deep, deep connection to the One Heart mission that I told the founders after this experience that I'm all in. Well, first I said I'm so grateful for them trusting me to facilitate this kind of experience for these first-timers, but that I'm all in. I believe in this vision and mission. My hypothesis is that if we can awaken these leaders through this acceleration tool like ayahuasca in a very safe and intentional space, and take the responsibility in facilitating integration opportunities for them afterwards, which I'm leading up now, then maybe, just maybe, we can hit a threshold of entrepreneurs and change makers that have evolved from the me to the we and have dropped from the mind and into the heart, and then really create every day of their lives directly from love and from the heart. We start to really ascend and operate with a new model from the heart and from love. The second story I'm about to share also epitomizes what I asked for, which was to show me what true selfless service meant. And I went in with that because, as you remember, I started to ink myself this owl with the concept named Seva, practicing Seva, which means practicing selfless service. So as I'm committing to this, I want to learn more about that. See, there were a shaman that was facilitating this whole experience and another shaman that was introduced and invited into this experience. And both of these shamans are completely different in that they learn from different lineages, and one's from the European region and one is from the South American region. So you can just imagine the dichotomy of these two cultures. And I remembered that the shaman that was invited was from the South American region, did not very much resonate with what she had heard about what this shaman from the European region that was going to facilitate these experiences and ceremonies for us was practicing. And there came a point where after the first night ceremony, she decided to not sit in the second and third ceremony with us because she just couldn't agree with these practices. Now, when I heard that, I admired and respected that she would listen to her higher self. But something inside of me, call it my higher self, did not resonate with the fact that she had come in with the intention to be of service for this group and now back out by not sitting and participating in the second and third ceremony with the other 44 heart-led leaders that were doing it, most of them for the first time. So I remember this one moment where I mustered up the confidence and entered into her tent and asked if I could speak with her and share some thoughts that were bothering me. And she absolutely welcomed it, and I just told her that I'm coming from an absolute humble perspective as a student of the medicine. You know, she's more ahead of me, she has learned more, and just wanted to share an observation that I felt like was not in alignment. And it was that if she had come in with the intention to be of service for these entrepreneurs and now sort of abandoning them in the second and third night ceremony, then I want to call it out, that that's not in alignment and that's not what service is. And you know, I'm a big believer in being impeccable and truthful with your words. So if you say and you're committed to that, you follow through with it. And I was just so humbled because this was someone who I admire and look up to and can learn so much from, especially in the plant medicine world. But also, who am I to speak of being in service when I'm still learning of it? But I felt like there was that moment where I knew what service meant. If you intend to be of service, you're there for the whole time. No matter what a person needs, you're there for them. And no matter how it may be in conflict with your own lineage or culture, that you're there for the bigger purpose, which is, in this case, really supporting these heart-led change makers to really ascend to their highest selves. And I had told her that there were many people that would need her support, especially in the ceremony, because her presence, her being is so angelic and so full of light that just looking and watching her in how she stands or sits throughout the ceremony already brings so much security. She nodded and appreciated that, and I decided to leave without looking for an answer because I knew I wanted to give her that space and time to think through it. Now, as the second night ceremony began and I didn't see her in her spot, I accepted it without any expectations. And lo and behold, she starts to walk in and I bow to her. And as I saw her go to her space, I was just filled with so much warmth and joy to have known that some of these words that really came from my heart and my higher self resonated with her. And it was just so humbling experience. You know, in the first ceremony, I also learned that true selfless service means that you start, create, and lead from your heart. Don't let it get into your mind, because the mind may be emotionally unstable that day or suffering from unconscious trauma, but your heart is pure and it knows that if it's in alignment with love. And when I felt that and remembered that, I committed to this practice that anytime I feel like I'm in service, I need to tap my heart 3 times to remember to start and lead and create and speak and be of example from the heart. So just a truly transformational journey for me. And as I look back, I'm so excited to dive deeper into this work. You know, looking back, it's just crazy to see that about a year and month ago, in my second ceremony, I requested Mother Ayahuasca to show me how I can best manifest this purpose of service. And she shared with me this vision of a campus or retreat center. And not knowing anything about real estate or buying land or any healing type of modality, I was like, I'm gonna surrender to this. And now, a year and a month later, here I am with this opportunity to service other change makers of the world, invest in a retreat life elevation center, and working with these 2 amazing founders that are of the highest integrity with this vision. And it's just crazy to see how this journey continually unfolds. I'm a living proof that you really set an intention that is of pure love and service for the world. I believe sincerely from the bottom of my heart that you'll be able to manifest that. So moving forward, I'm all in. I'm all in with one heart. I'm all in with raising consciousness. I'm all in on selflessly servicing heart-led entrepreneurs. It's just crazy. I never thought I would be doing this. I have an experience with technology and entrepreneurship and starting SaaS, startup technology marketing companies. But when you find the alignment and you run with it and you surrender to it, magic ensues. So that's it. That was my week 15 and 16 that I believe will be the staple of 2019 for me. I look forward to continually sharing with you what will continually unfold in the next few weeks and months. See you next week.